Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday evening. How are you? Welcome to my live. I made it on time, or pretty close. Pretty good for me, actually. So, how was your day? Mine was pretty busy. I'm gonna try to see if we can tilt this a little bit because I want you to see my project and not so much everything else. And I can actually reach it. So hopefully it's not gonna fall. I've got it back this direction just so you can see on my project. I wanna make sure that you don't miss out on anything. And let me just pull up it on my iPad so that if there are any comments, I can read them. There we go. But I guess my head's cut off a little bit, but you don't really need to see all of my hair, do you? Let's see if I can adjust a tiny bit. Let's try. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's probably too bad. As long as I'm not standing up all the way straight, I think you'll be able to see everything. Anyway, hello. How was your Wednesday? We're halfway through the week. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I've got my pumpkin shirt on, representing. Ooh, it's a black shirt. Of course, it's going to show everything. Because trick or treat, we are going to work on a Halloween project tonight. And this is adorable. I have had it for a while. I've been waiting to make it. I didn't want to start too soon, but I think it's close enough. And like I said, I've started to see some Halloween decorations in my neighborhood. So they may be happening in yours too. So I figured, hey, let's go ahead and get started with getting in the mood. I can't believe in 2 days it'll be October 1st anyway, but this is called our Trick or Treat Chalk Made Kit. And there's all the instructions. That's the cute little banner we're gonna be making, if you can see that. It's an all-inclusive kit, and you know, you would think that I would have had the price, but I can't remember what it is. But I think it's like $25 for the whole kit. So, and everything that you need. So I wanted to show you what was in the kit, and then we're just gonna go ahead and make it. And let's see if there was anything else I wanted to tell you today. 2 more days left on the September club, which is that one. Hello, Autumn. Only 2 more days on that. I don't know why I was thinking, I said something in a text or in a message the other day about 31 days in September. I know there's not 31 days in September. My mom's birthday was on the 30th, so I know that that's the last day of. And you'll have to excuse the bags. When you get me this late, you never know what you're going to end up with. So the reason I mention that is because I did post a reminder earlier as well that there's only 2 more days for my giveaway. I have sample packs that I'm wanting to send to somebody. So if you're interested, go back to 2 posts. The post before the one telling you what time I was going to be going live, and reply to that so that I can send you a free sample pack. And you can try out this goodness for yourself so you can see what in the world is this all about. But it is running only through the 30th, not the 31st of September, unless in an alternate parallel universe there's a 31st of September. So I'm sure there's not. But let's get started, because that means we're only almost a month away from Halloween. And I don't know when you decorate. If you decorate, even if you don't decorate, this is a great project to do, because most people participate in trick-or-treating. You know, even if they don't have kids or their kids are grown or whatever, most people at least give out candy if you're trick-or-treating in your area this year. So most people usually at least, sorry, I think I have something on my tooth. Oh, I'm being so rude tonight. I apologize, guys. Maybe I needed another cup of coffee this afternoon to get me through this evening. But most people do hand out candy to trick-or-treaters. So even if you don't decorate for Halloween, how cute would this be on your front door? Just to let people know, hey, we're giving out candy here. You put on your porch light and, hey, come trick-or-treat me, right? So at least it's something festive for the holiday, even if you only put it out one day a year. And this will last you year and year after year after year, right? So I'm going to show you what's in the kit first, and then we'll get started, and I'll kind of give you some other ideas of things you can do with this. So as I mentioned, it comes all in one kit, and I went ahead and opened it because I wanted to at least kind of be prepared. Hang on, I want to show you. This is what it'll look like when it comes to you, and I imagine it'll be in some kind of chalk couture envelope as well. This will be inside of some kind of mailing envelope, but it'll say chalk couture on it. It's similar to what we send out, I would imagine. Let's see if I can show you that. I would imagine it's similar to what we send out for our club envelope. So it's probably mostly white, and it will have a little bit our logo on there somewhere. But it will come to you packaged like this. So everything you need is in this package that we're going to use tonight, including the directions that I just showed you. So that's what it looks like when you get it in the mail. And as soon as you get it, you just open it up, take all of contents out of that plastic wrap, and it's just a little cardboard piece of cardboard in there. Oh my gosh, I'm going to struggle. A piece of cardboard in there that is just protecting everything. You can just set that aside. I personally save those for other projects. You never know when you're going to need it. Or for more shipping or something like that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pull out this sheet, and that is your instruction sheet for this kit. And this is called a kit, which means everything you need is in it. It's all included. So I'm not going to read through the directions for you, but basically you're just going to take this out, set this aside, and keep it here. Make sure you have all the items in the kit. It should be. You will get this, pretty sure this is a B-size transfer. Pretty sure that's 8x10. B-size transfer. It says trick or treat, adorable. And then you will also get this little packet that has, I am not going to use mine, but I'll open it and I'll show you. It's going to have all your necessary tools as far as for creating. And that is 2 different colored paste. You're going to get the orange peel and the bright white. I'm not going to use these because I have those colors in jars, so I'm going to save my packets in case I need to give them away to someone or use them for a workshop. Sometimes it's easier. But you're going to get those 2 colors because that's the 2 colors you're going to work with. And those are our singles. You can buy those on their own or save them for another package too. Like I said, you won't use them all for this one project. Save those when you get done. Once you've followed directions how to open them, save them. Put a piece of tape. This is duct tape, but you can just use regular Scotch tape. Put a piece of tape on there and seal it to keep it moist, and you can reuse the other pastes that are in there. So maybe if you get another transfer or you want to do another project with this guy, then you have leftover paste. It also comes with 2 cute little, and I use these all the time, you've probably seen me use them, little paint trays or chalk trays, right? For you to be able to put your paste packets on. And it's going to tell you what to do. It's going to say, take your transfer out, and I'm just going to unpack everything. So I'm going to set all that aside. You also get a mini squeegee. That's what I was saying the other day when I was talking about squeegees. If you get any kind of all-inclusive kits, we have this one. We have the play one that, oh, where is it? There it is. The play one that my grandson did with me that's for kids, Chalkmate Junior. We also have Don't Get Your Tinsel in a Tangle, which is adorable. And I do have that one that transfers well. And once we get into November, I'll start showing you guys that. But there is a kit that has Don't Get Your Tinsel in a Tangle, and it again will come with colors, the transfer, and you will get a mini squeegee. So there you go. You're starting your collection by getting a kit. That's why the kits are really awesome. The 2 things that I always recommend are a kit, because you get paste. In this case, you get those trays, you get a squeegee, all for a very reasonable price. $20, $25. You can't beat that to get started. You're getting a transfer that you can use over and over and over again. You're getting a surface. It's a great deal. And then The other is, of course, the club subscription. It's a great way to get into starting to do projects and trying out this craft without investing a lot. You're getting the transfer and the paste. You're just not getting a squeegee in with your package, because they wouldn't want to send one every month anyway. But as I mentioned before, if you join my club, I will send you one as a thank you. So anyway, just wanted to let you know, these are just a great deal. A great deal. And you can't even buy with this particular and that one, the Chalkmade Junior kit. The Tinsel and a Tangle you can, but with this kit, these Chalkmade kits, just gonna recycle that. With these Chalkmade kits, you cannot even buy these individual items in my store. So this cool felt, black felt, already stitched, got a nice dowel, wooden dowel in it, banner. You can't buy this on its own in my store. So you only get it in the kit. And this is really, I mean, this is really nice. And it's a no-brainer. And then you also get this coordinating ribbon that you'll use, obviously, to tie it. And this adorable, excuse me, guys, adorable tassel. I just need to straighten it up a little bit. It's been kind of smushed in there. I think I've had this at least a month, this kit. As soon as they came out, I grabbed one because I knew I wanted one for myself. I got one for my daughter, and she's big into Halloween. I knew she'd want to decorate her apartment, townhouse, whatever. So anyway, that cute little tassel too. So she took hers with her. I don't think she's done it yet, but she's got it, and she can, when she's ready, she can do it. She's done projects with me before. So now I got fuzz. All right. So it's going to, make sure to unpackage everything. Make sure you have everything that you are supposed to have in your kit. Then it's going to tell you to take your transfer. This is a brand new transfer. As I always mention, maybe make a little mark on the front and put something on the back so you know the front and the back of your transfer. I always do that. It's brand new. Normally, I usually tell you to fuzz things if they're brand new, but remember, this is sticky, this is glossy. Once you're done, I thought about showing you because I had to, what put me behind was actually putting all of the transfers I used yesterday, which there was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I used 7 transfers yesterday. I washed them and then went downstairs to have dinner, and didn't come back up. Well, I did come back up for a while, but I let them air dry, and then today I put them back on all their backers, and I haven't shown you how to do that yet. I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I just thought, I probably should show them that sometime. Maybe I'll do it as a tip one day. But you're going to save this because you're going to put it back on there after it's clean and dry. So take it off of the backer sheet, and it's going to tell you that carefully peel it off. Put your backer sheet to the side because you want to save that, right? Now, this is brand new, and normally I'd tell you to fuzz it, but as I think, if you've watched me before at all, I have mentioned when you are using fabric of any kind, like if you're doing a shirt, a t-shirt, a pillow, a blanket, this particular felt, it's a fabric. So you don't need to fuzz it because we want it to stick to it well, and it's not going to overstick because it's a fabric, right? It's already going to pick up its own fuzz. So it's going to tell you, peel off the backer sheet and then put it on your decorative banner. And you'll notice that it's a little bigger than the space, right, that we're going to put our image on. Okay, the transfers, I think it's 8 by 10 if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it's 8 by 10. Make sure I got it straight. And you pick it up and replace it if it doesn't look right to you. Now, you can choose how to line it up, and you can choose which way you want your banner to face. You can have it facing this way. You can see that it's sewn. Actually, I don't know. It might be better that way. It's sewn, so you have a front and a back. It doesn't tell you which way. You do it which way you want, but I think that's probably the front. And then you can either line it up by the top of your transfer to the top of the stitching, which I'm not going to guarantee it's 100% straight line stitching. I mean, that's kind of hard to do. Any seamstress will probably agree with me. But even on our pennant banners, you know, I'm not 100% sure that they're exactly straight, but just put it on there and eyeball it. I'm kind of looking off to the side and seeing, are they about the same distance? Does it look straight? And as I mentioned, it's going to be a little bigger. Do you see? It's a little bit bigger than our pennant because our pennant's angled at the bottom. Let me put my little doodads over to the side. But so that's fine. That can hang off. You just want to make sure your silk screen areas, the areas that were white or that you could see through once you took it off the backer, that those areas are on your felt. Okay. And then once you have it placed where you want it placed, smooth it out. Did you see there's some wrinkles there? I had some wrinkles in it. Make sure you smooth it out because you want your transfer to adhere well to your surface. And in this case, it's the felt, right? And you want it to adhere well so that your paste doesn't try to go up underneath the silkscreen area. With it being a silkscreen as opposed to a stencil, the main thing that makes it different and better is the fact that it's silkscreen. It holds on to your chalk paste. And again, if you're new here, if this is your first time, first of all, hi, my name's Susan. This is Expressions in Chalk. Welcome. I love showing people how to do new crafts. I love sharing my love of crafting with people. It's a great stress reliever. It's just a great sense of accomplishment. And most of the projects that I show, no skills involved. No special talent, skill, or ability is necessary. These things are these products are so amazing that you don't even have to be. But if you are crafty, artistic, whatever, you can use this as a jumping off point, right? And go to your heart's content. We have some really, really amazing designers with my company. And we have some people that just are not creative at all and just love to be able to do this and share it with people. I'm kind of in between, somewhere in between. So, but this is just wet chalk. When I say chalk paste, I'm talking about wet chalk. And that's exactly what it is. It's consistency of like yogurt or frosting. And that's what we're gonna make our project with. These are called transfers, not stencils, because they are silkscreen. They are special designs, exclusive to our company, and reusable. They're reusable a dozen or more times based on how well you take care of them. And by taking care of them, I mean cleaning out your silkscreen areas after you've done your project. You can use either chalk paste or wet chalk or ink. We also sell ink in my store. You can use either one with our transfers. And some people even do etching. So there's lots of different things you can do with this. I've even seen icing on a fondant with using our stencils. How cool is that? I was blown away. But yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about it. Who I am, what this is, and what I'm talking about. If you have any questions, so feel free to either type them in the comments. It could be the same question someone else has as well. And I'll be glad to answer them. If you're on here with me, I'll answer it while I can. If I miss it, I'll answer after I get off the live. And just send me a message otherwise, just if you have a question, okay? But, so this is, I've got the silkscreen transfer all pressed down on my surface, which is this felt banner that I got with my kit. I'm just gonna take, this is a squeegee. This is what we use to apply our chalk paste or our ink with. And it's just rubber, it's reusable. And that's what I was telling you. It comes with a little one like this, and that's what we're gonna use for the project. I'm just taking my big one for a minute. This is actually a small size, but I'm just taking it and smoothing out my transfer with it. You can use your little squeegee, it's fine. I probably should just be using the tools that come in the kit so y'all aren't confused. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. I'll stick with that so you can see how easy and you'll be able to do it. Okay, so that's all done, and it's gonna tell you now take your chalk paste. Remember I told you you're gonna get two singles. You're gonna get orange and white, orange peel and bright white, and it's gonna tell you to knead it, and this is all it means. Just kind of squeeze it a little bit before you open it. Squeeze it a little bit just to make sure you're mixing it up. But with this new paste formula that we just came out with earlier this spring, it's really perfect. It really doesn't need a lot of it, but that's what you would do. It tells you on there, just knead it a little bit. And then as I was mentioning, let's see if I can find another one where you can see it better. You know, just take a pair of scissors and just trim off the corner. Just trim off a little corner of it. And then you're going to use your little paint trays and you're going to squeeze some on there. I would suggest starting off with squeezing out no more than the size of a nickel, because you can always put more back. You can always squeeze more out onto your tray. You can't put it back in this packet. If I was using my jar, I can put it back in my jar, but using the packets, you can't really get it back in the packet. Then you'd have to buy an extra little container, which I have because I do that a lot, but you know, just some kind of sealed container that you can still get into it to get to the paste, but that it keeps all the moisture in, the air out. So just cut off a little corner, maybe put out a size of about a dime or a nickel, and then set that aside because you may need to pour more, you know, squeeze more out. But start with less and add more. Don't go the other way around. It really doesn't take as much as you think it's going to take to do any of this, even this whole big project, okay? So it's going to tell you to do that. Put that amount on your tray. And then, okay, it's going to walk you through step by step. You may want to read through the steps before you do the project. I'm bad about, I don't know if you're the kind of person when you cook, if you read a recipe all the way through and then you start it, or if you just say, okay, I need to do that, go and order. I'm the second kind. I start at number 1, I read it and I go in order and I do it as I'm reading it. I'm terrible about reading through it. You'd think by now I would have learned. But I can't tell you how many times I would get to like step 4 or 5 and it would say, okay, well, you know, you had to do this or you had to do, I've missed something that if I had read it all the way through, I would have been more prepared. I do that all the time. So you may want to read through all this first and then start the process, okay? So they've shown you an example of how, and if that's okay with you, then do it that way. If you don't want to do it with those colors the way they have it, then don't do it that way. But you're getting 2 colors with your packet, and you don't have to overthink it. Just do the things in white, it shows white, and the things in the words in orange. Actually, the or they have in white. It pops. It shows so well on here because of the black background. So when you open up you get your paste out on your little trays, and you can use your same squeegee. And you know what I didn't do? I usually recommend having a wet paper towel or a baby wipe right beside you, okay, for your fingers. But then you can also use it to wipe off your squeegee in between using the 2 different colors, okay? So just keep that over to the side. Don't use that on your transfer. Just use it on your, oh, oops. I don't know how that lid got in there like that. Interesting. Don't know. Sorry. That got all the way down in my paste. Did I grab it? Oh, I didn't grab the right one. That's why. I have 2 lids. Yeah, that's why. I grabbed my papaya from yesterday. I was like, why do I have that? I think they put a seal lid on top of it. I'm going to throw that one away because there's 2 lids in it. I don't need 2, like, lid liners, I guess is what it really is. No, I got that on my hand. So I grabbed the wrong color. Sorry. That was my papaya. So close. This is the color. It's that bright orange for Halloween, right? I want it to show up. The only thing that would be better is if it was glow in the dark. But we don't have glow in the dark paste. I'm sure you could use glow in the dark paint. You just have to really clean your transfer quick because you wouldn't want to ruin it. Okay, so I am going to start by, let's see if it tells you. I'm curious. I'm really curious. No, it doesn't. I'm curious as to whether it tells you to do all one color first and then switch. That's completely up to you, to be honest. You could do all of the white, just kind of put it on a little heavy. You could do all the white and then go back and do all the orange. Or you can do white, orange, white. You can clean it each time in between. Whatever you're more comfortable with. The main thing is, and it's going to tell you in here, once the screen portion of the design's covered, The more excess paste you remove, the better the results will be. But before it dries, peel back the transfer very slowly to make sure you covered everything, but so that it doesn't dry. So you want to try to work, you know, fairly quickly. As I've mentioned before, our paste dries in about 5 minutes. Could be less, just depends. So try to move along with your work, but it's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and do all of the white first, and then I'm going to go back and do the orange, okay? So I'm just pulling, you would take it off of your tray. I'm just going to pull it right out of my jar. And if I need to put some back, I can put it right back in my jar and reuse it. Or if I need more, I can grab some more. And if you're watching for the first time or you're watching, say hey and tell me where you're watching from. And if you don't mind hitting that heart button, that lets me know I've got people watching. If you know any friends that would be interested in learning about these cool projects and watching me do them, if you want to tag them or sprinkle, we call it sprinkle because Facebook doesn't like that other word. And as you can see, all I'm doing is taking my white paste, my wet chalk, and I'm placing it right over the silk screen area. I'm not worried that it's going, hey, Bonnie, how are you? Missouri. My aunt lives in Missouri, Perryville. Thanks for joining me. Just taking your paste and going over the silk screen area like that. See? And yeah, I went outside of the lines. It's okay to color outside the lines in these. And it's all going to wash off, so don't worry about it, okay? All right, let's go ahead and grab a little more white, and we'll do our word or. You guys, this whole project, honestly, from start to finish, the project itself, probably 5 minutes. 5 minutes. The cleanup, maybe another 5 minutes. The prep, not much, because everything's already prepped for you. And again, just make sure you've smoothed your transfer down well before you start applying your chalk paste. You see how easy this is? If you can butter bread or smear a bagel, it's harder to frost a cake than it is to do what I'm doing right now, honestly. I'm just pushing down with, you know, a moderate pressure, pulling off any extra, but trying to make sure I get it into the silk screen. And you can go both directions. Make sure you've covered it. You'll be able to see. You can tell whether or not you haven't gotten it in the silk screen area. Okay. I'm excited. My son's gonna love it. Two of my kids really love Halloween, and I always decorate. I'm not a spooky Halloween person though. Are you? Do you like the spooky and the scary stuff, or do you like? I like the cutesy Halloween stuff. Even now they're grown, 17, and I still have the grandson around, so he's little. I wouldn't want him to be scared, but I don't do the freaky and the scary stuff. I do the cutesy stuff. Just how I am. Okay, so see, I'm going to just put all my extra back in there. You saw I did not use that much. So again, don't squeeze out more than you need. I'm making a mess with this today. I don't know why. White's not usually that messy, but woo, I feel like this one is. All right, and then just take your baby wipe or your wet paper towel and wipe off. You could probably even use a dry paper towel. And wipe off your squeegee before we start using our orange. Now guys, once I'm done with all this, everything that I'm using, it's non-toxic, it will not stain, it comes right off. It's just chalk, it's just wet chalk. I got it everywhere, on my fingers. I feel like I've been painting, and I didn't think white would be that bad, but it sure is. Okay, so you can see I've got my white areas covered, right? Put that up, get my orange. I love this orange. Is that not, let me see if I can get the right, so you guys can see it. So you can see it, there we go. Everything's mirrored for me, you guys, sorry. So what was your weather like today? It got hot here again. It's in the mid 80s. I kind of am a little angry about it. I don't like to go out and sweat once it's this time of year. Once I've finally accepted that it's fall, I hate when it's hot. And you never know in North Carolina. We were having some nice cooler cooler evenings. That's why we did the fire pit the other night. What's your weather like where you are? At least it's sunny, but honestly, it just felt dry out there again. All right, you all see? See how easy this is? Just covering up my silkscreen area, making sure I got it in there. I have been wanting to do this. I just, you know, I do a lot of fall stuff. I do fall decorating and stuff. Still working on it. Was working on it today. And then I add a little Halloween in with it. And then I take the Halloween down and add Thanksgiving in with it. Do you decorate for fall or do you decorate for Halloween? So anyway, I was trying to be patient and not rush the Halloween, but I'll be honest with you, I'm getting ready to show you a bunch of Halloween stuff. Because I want you all to be ready. If you want to decorate and you want to make some of your own decorations, I want you to be ready. Now, once I get this word done, this treat word, I'm curious too. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Halloween, Bonnie, especially decorating for it. I really think that if you don't have kids, it kind of feels like, oh, why bother? But then there's other people who are just, I mean, we literally had people in our neighborhood saying the beginning of September, is it too early to start decorating for Halloween? And I'm just thinking, yeah. Everybody, it's funny. Same thing with Christmas, right? Some people start before Thanksgiving so that it's ready by Thanksgiving. It's interesting to learn how everybody does everything. And it's not always, you know, sometimes it's how you were raised and what you had, but sometimes it's just personal preference. Okay. And I'm not big on like witches and stuff like that. Even though I'll show you guys some of those projects, I'm not big on that stuff. Okay, what I decided I'm going to do real quick, because I want you guys to see. So I've gotten that much done. I am going to go ahead and pull my transfer up so that you can see what we've done so far and to make sure that my design image is covered. Oh, I see some there. That's what you want to do. Did you see what I just did? I pulled it up slowly, and then I saw one little spot. Let me see if you can see it. One little spot on the white where I would like it to have a little bit more white. It could have been a piece of fuzz. It could be just I didn't push through the transfer enough. Just lay it back down and push it through. Okay? Put a little bit more of your paste through it. Okay? Now, with this being a material, it does like to soak up your chalk paste. So it depends on how dark you want it. You may want to go over it twice and add another layer. I want it kind of vibrant. With a lot of stuff like the trucks from last night. Sorry guys, my allergies. With the trucks from last night, they were, more farmhousey or, vintage is a better word, I think. Because it wasn't really, I guess it is farmhouse, but it was more vintage. So I don't mind that it has the areas where it's not as vibrant or strong with the words or the image, because it's really not meant to be that way. That's the design of the transfer. But where this one is, I want to really be able to see my words. So I'm just going to soak it up a little bit more. It looks like it's soaking pretty good. It really likes the paste. But this doesn't look hard, does it? You guys can do it. I know you can. Wouldn't this be a cute gift for someone if they had maybe if they have an October birthday? That would be a cute idea, especially if they had a Halloween birthday. All right, I'm going to pull that up so we can look at it and you can see what's going on so far. And when I do this, this is called paste and pull. And I'm pulling it back. I'm looking. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. And and I'm gonna let that lay back down. It's called Paste and Pull. You see? Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, and I'm just gonna lay it back down. I'm not gonna press it back down. I'm just gonna lay it back down on top of it while I go up here and do the other word. And just make sure that if you did that, just make sure that you press down the areas you're getting ready to paste again to make sure they're sealed, because sometimes you might have pulled up too much and pulled the transfer away. I just want you to have a great image and be really happy with what you have, what you end up with as your end up project. Tomorrow I'm going to go back to doing a, I'm going to do another fall project, and I think, guys, I think I'm going to do the leaf cutout, because I want to do the pumpkins, and I will, but I really want to do those leaf cutouts. And if you're curious what I'm talking about, you can go look on my page. Sunday night, I think I posted some pictures, and then Monday night I came on and did a live and showed the wood cutouts that I was going to be using, that I was choosing from. And that's when I ended up deciding on the truck. I had forgotten about the truck till I came up to get my supplies, and I was like, oh, I love that truck. I've been waiting to do that truck. And it turned out good. And so far I have a couple different votes. I'd love to know your opinion. If you go back and look at the live last night, tell me which color you liked better. I did a beautiful teal, and I did a purple. Well, I did teal and silver, and then I did purple and copper. And they both, I think, look fabulous. But I've polled 2 people in my house so far, and I got opposing opinions, which is not surprising. But so I still have 2 other people I have to ask. And then when my daughter gets home, I'm sure I'll ask her. Just out of curiosity. But I'd love to know your opinion, which color you liked better, the purple or the teal. And I can use both or either, or flip it daily. So that's what's cool about it. And I'll definitely be ordering another truck for future projects, because I know at Christmas, I don't know, I might use the teal at Christmas too, because I do use teal. But I am sure I'm going to want a cute little, maybe another color. I'm thinking about a green too, because green is so pretty. A green truck would be cool. And you guys, really, this is such a nice stress reliever, and you don't have to think really hard. Or the hardest choice for me usually is which colors I'm going to use. In this particular case, it wouldn't be a problem because they send them to you. You already got your choice. And obviously, it's Halloween, so of course it's going to be black. And I guess you could have thrown some red in here, right? Speaking of which, not red, excuse me, yellow. Where did I get red from? Still thinking about Christmas, I guess. You could throw some yellow in here, I suppose. Speaking of that, that's what made me think of it. Do you like candy corn? I hear there's a big debate going on about candy corn again. So, you know, you could do candy corn colors. If you have yellow, you could throw some yellow in here. The word "or" could have been in yellow. I do have yellow, but I wanted to stick with the kit and do it the way y'all would be able to do it if you got this kit. You could always order an extra yellow packet. They have this in a single, I'm pretty sure, Bumblebee. Pretty sure. If not, we have a spooky palette too, and it might. But, okay, you ready? Here we do it. Peel and reveal. And I'm just kind of making sure if I missed anything or wanted a little more. Did you see it? Oh, it was a sneak peek. I'm going to add a little more. I saw a couple spots that I'd like to have it. Do you see how easy that is to do, guys, what I just did? Just laid it right back down and applying a little more, right? And that's personal preference. It does soak it up, for sure. More so than some of the other, you know, if you were using a different surface, like a chalkboard or something, it wouldn't be soaking it up. Oh, it's so nice. And you know what? It's not going to take very long to dry either. Get this part up here a little bit more. It's not going to take long to dry. because it's soaking into the fabric or the felt. And this ought to hold up nice too, guys. And the reason why we're able to use chalk instead of ink, even though this is a fabric, is because we're not going to wash this. That's the only reason you would use ink. And I really don't even think you would have to, I really don't think you'd have to spray it with anything. Like, unless it was really, I don't think you're going to want it in the weather. Isn't that awesome? Let me put my transfer down. Okay, so I'm just setting my transfer aside. You see it, it's a mess, right? And my silk screen area is all messed up. It's got all my paste in it. Well, I want to make sure that I clean that well so that I can reuse this more times. Like I said, up to you can do a dozen or more times depending on how you take care of it. I am just putting it on like a dish drying mat, and spraying it with water until I can take it to my sink in my bathroom. I have a bathroom right off my craft room. So my extra paste, I'm just going to put back in here. So, you know, you might use a little more than you would normally just because, but you should still have some left over. I believe that you could do another project with after you do this one. But how fabulous is that? You know, I wouldn't probably put it somewhere where it would get rained on all the time, but even if it did, I think it would probably be all right. But if you were concerned, just use one of those clear spray sealers, Krylon. There's several of them that make it. Just something clear that would protect it and just make it permanent. But since we're not washing it, we didn't do ink. And I'm not going to heat set it or anything like that because it wasn't ink. Because it's just a cute little banner, right? So you let that dry. Let's see if it tells you on here. It does tell you how to wash your transfer, but basically you take it to the sink with water. You're just going to put it under cool water. You can use your hand to kind of rub on the front of it to get the excess paste off. Let's see what else it tells you. And if you have a board eraser, it's going to tell you a board eraser, which unless you have one, you're probably like, what? What's that? We sell a 2-pack of these in my online store. It's a board eraser. It is not a Mr. Clean eraser. It's called a board eraser. And you would just rub that on the front of it. The other thing you could do if you don't have a board eraser is you could, on the transfer, you can rub that on the front and the back, is you can use a cleaning wipe. Not a baby wipe, but a cleaning wipe. And you can use that on the front and you can use it on the back. Only while you're messing with the water, while you're using the water. So don't like use a cleaning wipe or a paper towel on it on the back when it's not wet. Just use that cleaning wipe on it. You can use it on the back too, as long as it's wet, as long as the wipe is wet. If it was dried out or dry, you don't want to use a paper towel. It would stick to your back because that back, remember, is sticky. And even though it has fuzz on it, once you go to wash it, the fuzz is going to come off so that it'll be sticky again. And it tells you exactly what to do. Wash it with water, use a board eraser. I'm telling you, you can also use a cleaning wipe to get it clean if you want to, just to get all the paste off. But focus on, don't worry about if it stained any of your little, the material type, I don't know what it is that we don't have a technical name for it, I don't think. The material that the transfer is made out of, don't worry about that so much if it gets stained. It doesn't matter. What you're looking at is the silkscreen area, make sure it's clear, and no dried chalk. That's really clear. And then when you go to dry it, you flip it upside down so the sticky side is up, and you just let it air dry. And then once it's all the way dry, put it back on your backer sheet, okay? And it does tell you all of this in here. And it's even telling you how to do this part. So we'll go ahead and do it. So it says, immediately clean your transfer. So while you're cleaning your transfer, your project's going to be drying, right? And in about 5 minutes, it's probably going to be all the way dry. I wouldn't touch it until at least 5 minutes. You don't have to touch it at all, but just if you're going to work with it, obviously it's not been 5 minutes. I'm just going to be real careful. But it says, put the dowel rod, that was already in there, attach the tassel to the, it says attach the tassel to the dowel rod, but in the picture, it's actually attached to the ribbon. So you do what you want to do. You could take it just like this, right? Sorry, if I can show you how to do it right. You could take it like this and feed it through. and attach it to your dowel rod like that, and then fix him because he's a little messy. He's having a bad hair day, right? So you could do that, put it right on your dowel rod, or you can take it and attach it to your, do the same exact process, right? Take your loop, come back through and feed it, and kind of attach it to your ribbon. See? Okay? Either way, whatever you want to do. I'll flip it over and see what else. Thread the ribbon through the holes, tie a knot. Okay, you guys, this is basic stuff. They're gonna tell you everything you need to know to do your project. So if you were never done a craft project before, you would be able to do this. Or if you're a kid and you're needing, you know, or somebody who really likes every instruction written out so you're not guessing. Or if you're a child over 4, you still need to supervise them if they're little. Doing this project, you have it all written out. Or if you're teaching it to someone else, you have it all written out so you don't forget something. You could just forget it. You know, it could be just like, what? I forgot. So if you saw what I just did there, I just fed the ribbon through and I tied one knot. Let me see if I can get a good angle for you. Can you see it? Can you see the... Yeah, I think you can. I think you can. My video keeps pausing, so I can't tell on my iPad. And then I'm going to feed this one through too. They've even done a nice little angled cut on the bottom of the ribbon for you. It's not a wired ribbon, but it feels pretty sturdy. Like, and then now the challenging part's probably going to get in the little tails the exact same. So do you do much crafting? I'm curious. Is this the first time you've ever seen this? Have you ever seen anybody doing any chalk projects? Or are you a crafter? Do you like to do DIY? This is about the easiest DIY you could ever fall into with this with the projects that I try to show. Look at that! And again, you do it how you want with your tassel, however you want your tassel. But would that not be? That would even be a nice gift for someone. Already done. You make it and give it to them as a gift, and they'll be like, wow, you did that? That's amazing. But doesn't that look so sweet? A little tassel. Let's see if I can get it in the middle. There we go. I love that. I love it. It's just short, sweet, and simple project. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to set it aside. It is fabulous. You'll probably see it in the background for a while. Now, what I wanted to tell you also. So, that transfer that you're going to wash and let it dry and put back on your backer sheet. As I mentioned, it's reusable, right? Up to a dozen times or more, depending on the stickiness, how well you take care of it, and how sticky you need it to be. You can reuse that now. You could make a, how cool would that look? Well, let me pick it up here because I don't want to touch the transfer. It's got wet chalk all over it. How cute would that be on a black t-shirt, right? And you wear it the night you go trick-or-treating. You take the kids or you just go out or you're handing out candy. Wouldn't that be cute? You can also put this on a pillowcase. We sell pillowcases, but they're that natural linen color. And you could either dye them if you're that advanced or you're that brave. You could dye it a color you wanted, orange or black, or I don't know if you want to do orange if you're going to use this orange paste. But you could do it on a pillowcase. You could buy black pillowcases from all of our favorite mail order delivery. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you could find them there very economically as well. And you can use this transfer on it. You don't have to use ink. Like I said, if you're not gonna wash it, you don't have to use ink. You could do it on, let's see. Oh, you could do it on your front door. Do you have a glass front door or a storm door? You could put the transfer directly on it and you can chalk right on it as well. And then once Halloween's over, you can get a some Windex and a scraper, or Windex and a cleaning wipe, and or a board eraser if you have one, and clean it off your door or off your front window. Maybe you just have a window. You could do it on your door if you're in an apartment building, right? Like maybe you bought one kit and you did one for you, but your neighbor saw it and said, oh, I want to do that, but she didn't want to buy a kit. you could go over and you could just chalk directly on her door. You just stick the transfer up there, just chalk, make sure you fuzz it if you're putting it on a door. Fuzz it and do it on her door for her, right? So there's so many different ways you guys can use this. You could just use part of it. Maybe you just want to use the bats for something. You could do little projects with bats. Okay, so let me show you this. Like we have these little, and they sell this kind of thing. We sell them in my store in a pack, but they sell them everywhere. Like a little door tag, little wooden door tag. You could even just do some bats in black on the door tags, and you can use them as accents on other things that you might already have. There's always lots and lots, endless ideas. I just love the fact that you can reuse it. And even if you don't reuse it this year, you can reuse it next year on something else. If you decide, nope, this is all I really wanted to do for this year, but I'm going to tuck that away, and then you can use it next year. Or you could make more projects. You could make some other banners. If you have your own banner, you remember I did the project on Saturday on our canvas one, right? You could just, I'm showing you the back side of it, right? You could just use this transfer on here. You wouldn't want to use the white, obviously, but maybe you could do the bats in black. You could get black. You could get, you'd have the orange. You could maybe get yellow, and you could use it on, do it on the back of a one of these if you wanted to make them and sell them, or make them and give them as gifts. That's the cool thing about it. There's always ways to do it. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to show, like I said, tomorrow I'm planning on these guys, okay, our leaf cutouts. I'm going to have some beauties for you. They're going to be gorgeous. And look at the little acorn. I love him. So I'm going to work on those tomorrow for you guys. You'll have to let me know what's the best time to go live. I'm still trying to figure it out. I could have done this earlier this afternoon, and the work that I did this afternoon did it later. But I thought maybe I would try in the evening and see if that worked better for some people coming on in the evenings. Doesn't matter when you watch it. If you watch it with me, it's great because I love the interaction. I love to be able to talk to you, answer your questions, or interact with you, learn a little bit more about you. I love to do that on the lives, but if you miss it, you can always watch a replay. If you do, if you don't mind putting hashtag replay in the comments, that helps me also, because then I can get an idea of when people are watching it and gauge my time for when I will come on live and do projects with you. It's much more fun crafting with friends, I promise you. I promise you. I actually even do virtual workshops. So you don't have to live in North Carolina. I'm in North Carolina right outside of Raleigh. So, you know, I do have a lot of people around here that I can interact with one-on-one, but if you're interested in getting a kit and you're like, oh, I'm a little afraid to do it myself, or maybe you see something else that I've done as an example, or that I'm getting ready to show you the other Halloween options that we have, and you want to do it and you want to order it, but you're afraid to kind of do it on your own, let me know. I'm always available for scheduling for I'm fairly flexible for scheduling. I'll put it that way. Not always available, but I would enjoy getting on a FaceTime call with you, or doing a, you know, Zoom or something like that in order to help walk you through. I've done workshops through Facebook, FaceTime before, depending on the size of the workshop. But I'll also be holding some virtual workshops, I think, this winter as well, because we just have so many great options, guys. There's so many things, and I just can't do them all in a workshop. It's a lot of work to do a workshop, and I just can't do them all, and I want to make sure it's accessible to everybody. So we can always set up some virtual workshops. If you're interested in that, just let me know. Otherwise, just shoot me a question if you have any questions. I hope you enjoyed watching this project and saw how easy it was. And then tune in with me tomorrow for our wonderful leaves. Hashtag replay if you're catching it later. Hit that heart button if you enjoyed this, and if you know of any friends that would, if you wouldn't mind tagging them or sprinkling the video, I would certainly appreciate it. It was great being with you tonight. I'm gonna get going and let you guys get on with your evening. I'll catch you next time. Thanks so much. Trick or treat.